Welcome into the 820 studio. This is your host, once again, Ming Ahmad. I hope that each and every episode, but more importantly, I hope this one, helps you on your journey today. I guarantee, while I cannot improve your life, there's no improvement. Your life is what you have. My life is what I have. But I guarantee to change your perspective on this present moment with each and every 820 episode. Let's get into it today. Today's topic is entitled, Eat Your Peas. I hate peas. You know, those little green peaks of nutritional substances and vegetables that I guess they are, but I hate peas. Well, maybe snap peas, I guess, if they're steamed or water flashed properly. I don't know. But generally, I just don't like to eat peas. So you might ask, great, Ming, didn't know this was a nutritional subject matter today about resilience. So why the title, Eat Your Peas? I did type that and brand this title with the word peas, P-E-A-S, but really I mean capital P and just in plural. Eat your peas. Those peas, not just about, maybe, yes, I'm taking a license here about connecting the vegetables that I hate with the peas of resilience that I'm going to talk about now. But thank you for allowing me to take you into this discussion today. It's always about resilience and what you find as your beauty, desire, and drive. Those peas that I mentioned, the first one is passion. People on maybe many other podcast episodes, whether it be video and audio, not just audio like this one, people can talk about their passion. I have passion for this. I am passionate about that. So much to the point for me, it's gotten a little out of hand that everyone has a passion for something. Like I love cake. Too much passion for cake because it does not agree with my midsection or trying to fit into my clothes. But that's one thing about passion. It can be applied to anything, even passion about things that are not so good for you. The passion should come from within, that drives what you do towards what you know of your purpose, message, and mission. The other P, perseverance. The perseverance is not just a commitment to something today and not later today. How committed are you in the practice, the discipline? As I mentioned to you probably yesterday, about I'm trying to lower my verbal register, the pace at which I speak, which definitely impacts how and what I eat, how I drive, how I write or type, how I communicate outside of the podcast to people on the street or on the phone with a friend or to a bill collector. It comes down to essential to me to be clear about what I am saying and, yes, how I am saying it. But that perseverance, this example, is about the discipline, the regular practice, not just repetitive, but the consistency in what you do, and what I've asked you to consider, which is what drives you. The third P is presence. Certainly, I have mentioned the term presence probably on 99% of the previous episodes. And of course, that is the main part of the title of the book itself: Resilience, the Beauty of Presence. Now, of course, it's easy to talk about presence, or quote unquote being present. And I invite you to review a podcast about 2 weeks ago about taking that presence thing a little more deeper, a couple of layers deeper into what it really means to be present. And somehow it's tied into the listening part in any conversation. And the whole thing about communication is not just the broadcast part of it, it's how you receive the broadcast back to you, or what you perceive from what you're observing. That's why the main model of the book about resilience has those two main components: observation and communication. I won't dive into the modular parts of how you get into those practices about observing and communicating, but it does require, as I mentioned just now, trying to get a little deeper into what is actual presence. It is coming down to the listening part, so that if someone's talking to you, you are actively listening to what they're saying, digesting it, and not waiting your turn to communicate or broadcast, to taking what was said to you, let it rattle around, not just your brain, but let it filter into your heart, and then offer a response. Offer an insight. Not just a joust back at that person. Maybe you can take in what he said with some value and then offer something back, not just as a serve and volley exercise. The last P is production. As I mentioned to you before, I'm saying it again today, even that thing about resilience and the beauty of presence, while I would really hope that millions adopt that perspective on presence and beauty and resilience, even getting there, call me selfish or optimistic, that realization, your personal definition of your own presence, is just a first step, a first baby step. Presence is absolutely good. But with that presence, what do you do with it? What do you produce from that presence? It's not about status, not about things you have, where you live, the clothes you have on your back, or the kind of shoes on your feet, or the bag you carry. What do you produce from this internal presence? Not the external, the internal presence that should emanate and express your internal presence. That's what I'm talking about. So, I know it kind of got you off track with eating your peas that I hate, but these peas, passion, perseverance, presence, and production, let's eat those every single day. As always, it's here to remind you of the depth and breadth of your resilience, and to know that it's still 820.